Good day, my name is Jessica and I would like to welcome all attendees to our web seminar today. In a few minutes I will be able to extend my colleague Edgar Grasel a warm welcome. He has prepared the topic how ELO makes your daily work easier for you today. A little more information for you before we start. You are muted during the web seminar, but are welcome to ask questions about your GoToWebinar in the questions box at any time. After the lecture, we will take the time and answer them. You don't have to take any notes on the web seminar. We will send you the presentation slides in PDF format by email shortly afterwards. You can look forward to an interesting presentation. Welcome, Edgar. Now I will hand over the microphone.
Well, thank you and welcome from Austria. My name is Edgar Grasel and I will show you today how ELO makes your daily work easier. So maybe you know back in the days when we all worked in the office and we went to work and we had our desk and we could work from there, that we had some things which we could do besides the daily work which we had to do. So we could talk to each other, we met people at the coffee machine, we could do some meetings and we could have lunch break together. So that's how communication worked in the office. We didn't have to call someone, we didn't have to chat with someone, we didn't have to make an online meeting. We met each other on the way to a meeting or on the way to the coffee machine, or we just went to their office and then we talked to the colleagues and so on. Beside of that, we had some tools which we could have used, so just like online meetings with, let's say, Microsoft Teams. Everybody has a smartphone where he can do phone calls and you can send emails to your colleagues or to external partners or customers or something else. So that's the way we worked. We had many ways to communicate to each other, and we had other tools where we could communicate with others as well, with customers, with external partners and so on. But those tools, they weren't so important in those days. But then something changed. We had to go to the home office, and I think many of us sit in the home office today as well. And well, the way to communicate with each other was a little bit different. Things which were not so important until now got more important. So we had to do online meetings, we had to use our smartphone more often to communicate with the colleagues, and we had to write more emails to inform others what we are doing and share some information with the colleagues and so on. But you couldn't do some meetings, you had no chance to meet someone at the coffee machine. The way to communicate to each other was a little bit different than before, and the only thing with which you could have lunch was the plant on your table, and well, you could talk to her, but she wouldn't answer something. So things which were not so important in the past got more important: online meetings, smartphones, and emails. And in fact, the usage of online technologies in the home office raised. So the smartphone was used 25% more often than before. You sent 40% more emails than before, and the amount of online meetings raised up to 68%. So that's what you, well, probably know, but those are the numbers for this. The online technologies were used more often in the home office to communicate with each other, to stay informed, and to get in contact with the colleagues, with the other employees in the company. So I'll give you an example. We have the Contilu Corporation with 3 employees. The first one is the sales director, William Johnson. Then we have Jessica Davis in the customer service, and the CEO, Daniel Cooper. And they all work in one company. They sit in the same building, and the office is the office is in the same building. And so they can work together and they can collaborate with each other. They can communicate with each other. And so when William Johnson or Jessica Davis receives an information, she can tell William Johnson, then William Johnson can call Daniel Cooper and tell him that there is a new, let's say, partner request. So a new company, sent us a request, they want to become partner. And he tells Daniel Cooper with the smartphone, or he meets him in the office and informs him. So communication is easy, information is available for everyone. And they send some emails, and everybody has the same state of information, because communication is much more easier than in the home office. But then when we change something in this example, when everybody sits in his home office, it gets a little bit more complicated. So they send more emails, 40% more emails were sent. They use the smartphone more often, and they make more online meetings. They didn't make some online meetings before. They had to get in touch with the online meetings because everybody was sitting at home. And as I said, it's a little bit more complicated for the communication and the information to receive other employees as well. So just an example, when William Johnson receives an information and he forwards it to Jessica Davis, then those two know something. It doesn't matter which kind of information this is. When it's an email, then he forwards it to her, or when he gets a call from a customer, and then he calls her and tells her. So both of them have the same information, but Daniel Cooper will never know, because he never received an email, he never received a phone call or something else, and he has no chance to get the information which William Johnson and Jessica Davis know. And well, maybe it's an important information for him, so he has to find a way to get to this information as well. And those are the challenges in the home office, the lack of direct communication. 38% of the people who were asked in this survey said that the lack of direct communication is one of the biggest challenges in the home office. And 21% said it's difficult to access data, and 19% said it's a poor visibility into colleagues' action. So, and that's the fact which, well, it's my own experience. We were sitting at home in the home office, and the direct communication, it was a big challenge for us to stay in contact and to know who does what in this time, because everybody sits at home, everybody has his workplace, and nobody knows what the others do. And to meet those challenges, or to react to those challenges, you have to do something. Give another example. It's not only in the home office to stay informed. When you receive an email, when you get it in your inbox and in your own inbox, then you have this information. You know something which nobody else knows. Maybe it's an important information. Well, and when it's an important information and some other colleagues should know this information, then you can forward it to a colleague, and then the colleague knows the same as you know, but the others don't know because they don't have the information. But how can we make sure that the information is available for everybody? So back to our example, William Johnson receives an information, and instead of forwarding it to Jessica Davis or calling her or something else, he files it in a central location. And in this central location, Jessica Davis and Daniel Cooper can access the information, even if William Johnson is not available when he's on holiday or something. They can access the information as well. And the central location is the ELO ECM suite. And in the ELO ECM suite, you can file your documents, you can file your emails, or create some contracts, or edit some data. You can collaborate, you can automate some things, and you can use analytic tools to get an overview, and you can share your knowledge as well. And with the ELO ECM suite, all those information are stored in a central location, and it makes your daily work easier because everybody can access the information which he or she needs. And how this works, I will show you now. So going back to our example, we have our company, we have the Contilo Corp, and the Contilo Corp sells something through partners. And for this, they have a form on their website where you can enter your data, and when somebody enters data in the form on the website, then William Johnson, the sales director, gets a notification that they have received a new partner request. So when he opens his client, then he first of all sees what's new, what has happened in the last few hours in this case. Then he can see Jessica Davis, that she finished a brochure or something, and I, as William Johnson, wrote something in an article. But when I want to know if we got a new partner request, then I go to my task section, and I can see that I have here a new task. I have a new partnership request. And for this, I can have a look. Well, it's the Acme LLC there are not many details in it. There's no phone number, no fax, and no website information, and no email. But it's interesting because we want to get new partners, and the Acme LLC is a company that makes everything. And well, maybe it's a good partner for our company, for the Contilo Corp. And well, we want to get more information for them. But I also want to inform Daniel Cooper that the Acme LLC has sent a partnership request to us. Maybe he doesn't know yet, but he will get informed afterwards. But I want to inform him right now, so this can be done with the document feed, and I can tell Daniel Cooper that we received a new partnership request from Acme. Just an information. He doesn't have to do something with this, but it's an information for him, and I want to inform him. So what this does, I will show you later on. In this case, we now have the task that we have received a new partnership request, and now we want to start the whole process. So the process looks like somebody has to edit the data, then somebody has to check if this is a proper partner for the company, and when everything is okay, everything is fine, then we'll make a new contract, and then the new contract will be signed, and then we have a new partnership. And this process is available as an electronic workflow within our ELO. So the workflow started right by typing in the data on the website, then an object was created in the ELO ECM suite, and that's the first step. So just an information, a new partnership request received. We informed Daniel Cooper that we have received a new partnership request, and then we'll start the workflow by double-click on the entry, and then we can make a decision, proceed or reject. Maybe we get some spam, then we reject it. But in this case, we want to proceed with it. And the next step for this is that that Jessica Davis has to do something. She sits in the customer service, and she has to edit the data. Maybe she has to add a phone number or website information. Maybe she calls the company because we have some requests or some contact information from them, or we want to get more information from them. So this is the task which Jessica Davis has to do. And Jessica Davis, she doesn't work with this client. She has another kind of client. She uses the ELO desktop client, which is on the right side of a desktop and which is built for working best with Microsoft Office. So she can store or file documents directly into the repository, because the desktop client works with Microsoft Office and you have some features available for this. And well, she has opened her client and then she goes to her task section, and then she can see check and edit data for the Acme LLC. So that's the task which she has. And now we want to make a preview of those data. Then the window opens, and here we see we have two contacts in here. That's Julia Allen and David Lee, but we have some other data here as well. So that's the information which we can edit. But this is a group task, so we have to accept the workflow in the first step. So accept the workflow first. No, then make a preview again. So, and this is the form. And now she can edit the data. She can edit some information, some email addresses and so on. And she calls the company, and then she gets more detailed information for this. And when she's finished, then she can forward it with the next step, check new partnership request. So that's the step when somebody has to say, okay, we'll do a credit check with them, and let's have a look at the company. Is this a proper partner for us, or is this no proper partner for us? And then when somebody says it's okay, then the contract is created and so on, and the contract is signed, and then we have a new partner. And this is when it comes to Daniel Cooper. Daniel Cooper is the CEO of the company. He always wants to stay informed when we get new partnership requests. And he always wants to have an overview over the partners in the company. So it's a company which has around 20 partners or something. But he wants to know how many partners we have, and he always wants to be informed when we have a new partner request. And for this, he uses his web client. It's the same look and feel like the rich client which William Johnson uses, but it's accessible through the browser, so he doesn't have to install something. The first thing which he sees is that William Johnson has sent him an information that we received a new partnership request from Acme LLC. So he has the information right when he opens his client, and then he can click on the name of the new partner, and then here it comes to the partnership request, and here we can see the contacts or the other informations. And when there are some documents which they create, or when there would be when there is a new contract which they create, then the new contract would be in here as well. So he can have a look at the new partner, and he can give a feedback to William Johnson. Well, let's say he comments on his post and says, great thing, proceed with it. So he stays informed, and he has the information right when he opens his client. And well, as I said, he always wants to have an overview over the things which happen in the company. How many partners do we have? And so on. And for this, he has the dashboard for the partners, which he created for himself with ELO Analytics. And when he selects the dashboard for the partners, he gets an overview over the partners in the company. So we have 2 new contracts for partners. We have 11 active solution partners. And here we can see the cash flow per month from our partners. So, well, this was the October. In October, they were really, really good, but now they should be better or something. And this is a pie chart for the cash flow per contract partner. And what we can see here is one company that's Morgan Echo LLC is responsible for nearly 50% of the cash flow from our partners. So that's the strongest partner, and the second strongest is Contilu Corp. Well, that's what we are. So that's the overview over the partners, and he can see here which partners they have, and then he can see the more detailed information. So he has an overview just by clicking on his dashboard. He stays informed with the document feed with the entry of William Johnson, and they can communicate with each other. He also could mention some other employees, or when they want to get informed automatically, then they can select the entry to get an information every time something changes. So that's how ELO makes your daily work easier. They don't have to sit in the same location, in the same office. They can sit in the home office as well, but they can collaborate and communicate with each other, well, in a little bit different way than before, but they can do it. And when you work like this, then the information stays available. Because one thing which isn't well, so good when you're in the office, when you communicate, when you meet at the coffee machine, the information doesn't stay available. But when you do it like this, information stays available, and in 3 months or in 5 years, everybody has the same level of information. Everybody knows when the Acme LLC sent a partnership request and what happened with them afterwards. So this is how ELO makes your daily work easier, and how you can communicate and collaborate with each other, even if you're not in the same building, even if you're not in the same office. So the highlights from using ELO ECM Suite: you can access the information from everywhere, even if you work from home. So, and that's true. When we went to home office last year, it didn't matter to us because we had the same information, the same level of information, even when we sit at home, because we could access the information from everywhere. You stay informed. All information is in one place. Maybe you have to change some things. You have to tell the people how to communicate with each other, how to work with the document feed, and so on. But when they know how to work with those tools, then it's easy, and everybody shares the information that he or she has, and so you can stay informed. You can work better together with the included collaboration tools. So those are tools which come with the ELO ECM Suite. You don't have to buy something. The collaboration tools come with the basic license, and you can use them right away when you work with the ELO ECM Suite. With the built-in ELO Analytics, you can get an overview. You can build your own dashboards. You can analyze the data which are stored in your ELO. You can make visualizations. You can make dashboards for everything. So, for example, we made a dashboard for how many emails did we receive in the last 3 months, or how many emails does a department receive a month, and so on, to get an overview. On the other hand, we have some dashboards for our contract partners to see how many trainings they have and so on. So you can build a dashboard for nearly everything with built-in ELO Analytics to get an overview. You can easily access your data for every user. You have the right client. So what you saw before in the presentation, we use the rich client, then we use the desktop client, which is built for working best with Microsoft Office, and then we saw the web client that doesn't need to be installed, so you can access it with your browser, and then it fits. So you have everybody can use the client which he or she needs and which he or she wants. And then we can automate your daily routine with workflows, automated tasks, and reminders, so that the people can focus on the things which are really important and not on those things which are not so important, with which they have to do every day. So you can automate your daily routine and nobody has to do it anymore. Workflows, automated tasks, and reminders. So thanks for your attention. This was how ELO makes your daily work easier, and how you can work together, how you can communicate with each other, even when you're not in the same place, even when you're not in the office, but if you're in the home office. And if you have any questions, you can ask me right now in the questions box, and I will try to answer it. So every question is welcome.
So now it's your time. You are welcome to ask questions about your GoToWebinar in the questions box. So I think, Edgar, you did a great job. Nobody have a question?
Thank you. Okay, then thanks for your attention, and see you next time.
Edgar, thank you for the interesting presentation. Thanks again to all attendees. We wish you all the best. See you soon.